Well, hey, man, we've got Dillon Neely. I keep saying this with every person I do this, but with family friends, but Dillon is family for sure. We miss you guys. How's Rebecca and the kids?
Yeah, man, we miss you guys like crazy. I can't believe it's been 6 months since we left St. Louis and moved to Kansas City. They're doing well. They're out at a play date right now, social distancing the best
Yeah.
that you can with kids. But yeah, they're doing well. We're happy that the weather is better and we can get them
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
We were going a little bit crazy in the wintertime.
Yeah. Well, man, we met. We met. Gosh, I think it was like 2010 or something like that.
Yep.
It's a long time ago. You were maybe 18, 19 years old. I've told this story once, or actually, I don't even know that I told it except maybe the day that you got sent out. That's probably when I said it. But I I remember genuinely being impacted because we were in Chicago and you and I were paired up to go door to door. You were just like, again, this 18-year-old intern kid, like doing
Yeah.
evangelism. And you were just like humble, but just like brewing with confidence and like just knocking on doors. And you want to know about Jesus? Nope. Okay. Well, see you later. You want to know about Jesus? And then just kept
Yeah.
going and going and going. And I think that's probably, I don't know, I would guess that might be the lasting reputation that you have in our church. I haven't done a formal survey, so I can't qualify that. But I say many people, the thing that you've impacted the most in their life is just your boldness when it comes to evangelism. What do you feel like just that comes from? Like do you think about that? Have you processed that at all?
Yeah, man. Well, it's really humbling to hear that. And I feel like a failure more than I do a success. Not just saying that. I mean, that's genuine. And
Well, I didn't say you were successful. I just said you were bold.
yeah, exactly. Right. Man, I was not raised in a Christian home. I did spend most of my life as a follower of Jesus, and my life was a mess. I was broken. When I became a Christian, I found out people that I knew were Christians, and they hadn't told me about Jesus. And it didn't make sense to me because I had lived my whole life without knowing the love and the joy and the peace, the forgiveness of God. When I found it, it was literally like someone turned the lights on in the dark room, like I could see for the first time. And so I think it was just God's kindness to me that he gave me a heart really early on for my friends, my family who were far from God, and brought me to some people who were also really bold and weren't hesitant to share their faith. And that set an example for me to be able to do the same.
Well, man, it's genuinely impacted me. And like I said, I know that's genuinely impacted people at Jubilee. And I mean, that's a part of your legacy, but it's a big part. And I'm trusting that will continue to be as you're in Kansas City preaching the gospel. I think the other legacy, I hate to mention this, is just your legendary ability to consume food. There was a period of time where before you were married, where you were kind of passed around at different houses. I think people could afford you for like 3 months.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, you would eat like 6 eggs for breakfast. I mean, I just have never, like, it's one thing to eat like a second helping or a bag of chips, but like it was intense, but it was fun, man. Our kids loved it. It was a blessing. You were a blessing everywhere you went. That'd be another thing you say, like there's a lot that can go wrong when you're young and in people's homes, but I would say that you have a really good reputation. I think that's the other thing that's impacted me. I just think your integrity, your willingness to be wrong and learn. You and I had a little exchange on text. Won't say the content, but just like, it just didn't take anything. You're just like, I need to do that differently. And like, you're just so quick. And I think because of that, you learn really, really fast. And I'm just confident that you are an effective leader, but you're just going to continue to be an effective leader because that is a really good quality.
Well, man, thanks for saying that. And I can't express how much you and Rachel have meant in my life and the Jubilee family. I mean, I remember in college coming to Wednesday morning prayer meetings, which are, every week, 6:30 a.m. and would drive the bus in, would pray. You would take me to breakfast afterwards before you dropped your kids at school. And we'd sit there and eat a plate of eggs. And I don't think you had 6. I think I probably had 6.
Yeah.
And we had conversations about life.
Mm-hmm.
And you helped me get my finances straight. You helped me learn to walk with God. You helped me with my relationships. I remember the day we were at breakfast and I told you, I'm thinking about Rebecca. And little did I know 10 years later, you know, she'd be my wife of 8 years. So,
yeah,
man, you guys brought me into your home. You brought me into your life. I saw your family in action. And then, I mean, pastoring and leading with you, I mean, just really have shown me what it means to lead, to love people, to serve, to be a leader who's not trying to put yourself forward, but really trying to put the gospel forward and serve people. And man, I'm carrying so much with me in Kansas City that is from the Jubilee family, and really from your leadership and so many others who impacted me, older godly men and women who their impact on my life will go with me wherever I go.
Man, I really appreciate that. And I think you and I are both the recipients of an environment, a culture that allows people to grow. And I know when I started leading Jubilee, I was like, I just don't want to mess this up. We've got a great, we've got a great environment. Let's just not mess it up. Let's multiply it. Well, let me switch gears a little bit because I want to hear about the plant. I mean, obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic, which was not on the plan. It was not a part of the church plan. It's not even in the back in the addendum. Like, this is what you do if this happens. It took us all by shock. So let me ask you personally, what are you personally learning in this season during this COVID season?
Yeah, I'm learning that prayer really is number one. You got to pray first. And I mean, in the season where there's no playbook, there's no, this is how you do it. The days where I wake up and get on my knees, I feel I'm fruitful.
Yes.
God's using me to make a difference. The days I don't, I end up feeling exhausted, tired, like, man, I think I wasted today. And so I'm learning to pray first. I'm learning the importance of serving people. I think I've just been too comfortable with, day-to-day life and not realizing how much need there is around me. And so as much as there has been a desire to share the good news of Jesus, the ultimate need, the spiritual need of our sinfulness, just recognizing there's a great practical need around us. And it's the gospel of good news that comes with our words and our deeds. And I think I've neglected the deeds to some degree. So just learning, man, I got to make sure that's a priority in my life. Also just learning the value of relationships. I mean, my kids are so different. Just the last couple of weeks being able to see other human beings than they have been in the last 2 months being isolated. Yeah. And it's the same for me. I mean, just joy, energy, and just the wisdom that comes in communities. So I've got a deeper value for friendships than I probably ever have in my life.
Yeah. That's so good, man. So what is different? Like, what's going on with the plant? How's it going?
Yeah. So we moved in November, had our first gathering January 26th, and then our second gathering March 1st. About 60 people total, part of King's Church. And then March 12th, we canceled everything for the foreseeable future. And I think within a week, maybe 2 weeks, we pivoted everything online. So I didn't plan on preaching a sermon or having small groups until September. Started preaching every week, small groups. Had some amazing small group leaders step up, and they've really pastored and cared for people incredibly well. And then we just took a break. We're launching all new groups here in a couple of weeks again. Had a young man commit his life to Jesus and get baptized just a few weeks ago, which was amazing. Just so thrilled to see that. He is growing rapidly. We're using the new You booklet that you and some others wrote, and are seeing him just grow in his faith. And so that's been incredible. Every week we're hearing families and individuals say, I haven't been in church in 10 years. I haven't been in church in 30 years. I've never been in church. And they're watching our services. Yeah. So, man, we're thrilled about that. It's really hard. It's really hard to see people. I'm finding it difficult to connect beyond just the online experience. So we're trying to navigate that.
Man, this has been great. Why don't, as we conclude here, would you just give 60-second or so exhortation to Jubilee Church?
Yeah. First of all, I'll just say, Jubilee, you're an amazing church. It's hard to know how good it is when you're in it, but I mean, the love, the genuine faith, the heart for worship and prayer, the heart to serve the city. I mean, I look at what you're doing from a distance now, and I'm like, I don't know how they're doing all that. Like, it's incredible to see what God is using you to do. And I would encourage you, just keep doing the things that God has put in front of you to do. Keep saying yes. Keep being a community that is not settling. There's so much good. There's so much God has done. Keep living like today is the last day that we get. And in particular, when it comes to sharing our faith, I mean, there's so many people who need hope, who need life, who need to have an encounter with Jesus Christ. They're like me. And they just need someone to tell them, someone to share with them, someone to pray for them. And I mean, what God has done in this community is incredible. So let's share that with as many people as possible. And I want you to know, as you're praying for us, it's making a huge difference. So please keep praying for us. We need it.
We will. We will. Well, man, I cannot wait to see you come to Kansas City, have you come to St. Louis, man. Love you, brother.
Love you, man.